We're doing another fantasy football mock draft tonight. I just saw this comment. I thought it was still sitting on the fridge. We're doing another fantasy football mock draft tonight. We did one last night with Butters and Nuggets. If you did not see that episode, it got a little wild. So check it out. I know it's long, but it's definitely worth it. Hopefully we have another fun one tonight. I can't wait to do a real fantasy mock draft with Kenny. We've done some best ball draft, but this is the real deal. It's August. It's fantasy season.
Some. We've done a ton.
We've done a lot. Yeah. We've done a lot. I'm up to 155 best ball drafts personally. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. We have all right, we're already full. So once we do the intros, we'll just dive into it. WalterFootball.com After Dark show for August 14, 2025. We're doing this fantasy football mock draft, as you can see on the screen here. Kenny is back from paternity leave. Kenny, how's triple fatherhood treating you?
Oh, bro, it's great and crazy and exhausting. And I understand why people get vasectomies.
Oh, man. Geez. So I assume you're exhausted. I mean, I'm tired from 2 kids. I don't know how you're handling 3. That's insane. Like our 2 oldest kids are, well, my 2 kids and your 2 oldest kids are about the same age. Yeah. And now, yeah, I mean, like we had 2 kids under 2. You had about the same thing. It was insane. So yeah, hopefully you can make it through without passing out. I had to I fell asleep on the couch before the show, just being exhausted with the 2 kids. But anyway, you guys know the drill. I'm wearing 100% USA Man t-shirt, part of the merch store. Yes, I was wearing that yesterday, but we can ignore that. 15% off sale in the merch store.
Yes, I was wearing that yesterday.
Yes, of course. Yeah, two days in a row. You know how we do it when with 2
Excellent.
kids. We have the new Adam Aaron F'd Me t-shirt. So if you lost money with AMC like I did, you can buy that. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. Jerks the College Years is the most recent one. And please consider super chat, super stickers. We had $20 super chat from RMAC yesterday and $40 from RMAC the other day. But I think RMAC still made money through what Nuggets promised him. So so if whenever Nuggets on the show, he gives out free money. He's like Oprah. I was like, here's $50 here, $50 there. Yeah, we can AMC to the moon, AMC to the crater of the moon that to 0. Because they are doing they're doing more dilution in December. So I think puts are the way to go. Okay, so Nuggets still has to deliver. Okay, well, good to know he hasn't paid out yet. I'll have to get on him. But all right, let's start up this mock draft. I have the 9 spot. Kenny has the 6 spot. We're on the way. 1:30. Kenny, I asked you via text. You didn't answer me. I assumed you were busy with the kids. How have you done like any mock drafts, like not best ball yet?
I've not done any mock drafts with humans. I've only been using like the bots and there's the software. Football Guys has a software I use. Footballguys.com. If anyone's familiar with that website, they've got a mock draft software. So I've not done anything with. It's my first time doing it with humans.
Oh, that's nice. I found I don't know like what your experience is because you've done a ton of best ball drafts like I have, and you're on the clock. With like triple digit best ball drafts. Has it been a lot easier for you doing these mock drafts? Because I don't even use my rankings anymore. I just know who I want.
That's a good question. I feel like, before I time out here, because that's happened to me once.
Before 1:10, it's not bad.
Okay, so who I really want is so what I really want, I think, is going to be there. How do I hold on? How do I get out of this? Wait a minute. There we go.
Oh there
okay.
we go.
Okay, so I actually have a player ranked ahead of Justin Jefferson. So I have 2 players, but I think they will still be there in the second round. So I'm testing out my theory here.
Interesting. Well, I guess we'll see who they are. If they come off the board, please let us know. Yeah, I was going to take Neighbors. Slew sniped me here. So 109. I drafting 109 because I actually did 4 best ball drafts today. 2 while I was watching the kids. So those were like the cheaper versions. And I got the 9th pick both times. So I was like, I wonder how the 9th pick looks in a real mock draft or a real fantasy draft. And I took Neighbors both times there, and Neighbors did not fall to me. So picks here is kind of sketchy. I'm not in love with like the end of the first round here. And I find myself often reaching, quote unquote, reaching according to ADP I don't think I am reaching. I'm going to go with Devon Achane. I think he has the most upside. He has RB1 potential. He could be the number one fantasy player this year. He's an incredible player. So much speed, and he's gonna catch like 90 passes. I know this is not PPR, but he's just gonna be a monster again this year. I love like the running backs in round two. I thought Bucky Irving is. I have Irving ahead of Achane. I thought Irving was gonna fall to me. I guess I should have known better. So I guess lesson learned, huh?
Yeah, I wrestle with I used to really feel the need to like get value, but I think more and more over the years I'm just like just take the player you like the most.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
of course I say that, but I literally that's what I did in the first round.
Well, let's see. I mean, is AJ Brown one of the guys you have ahead?
No, he's not.
Oh, interesting. I know you liked AJ Brown a lot, so that's
a
little bit surprising. Okay, I'm gonna take my so I have Irving as my RB4, and I have Chase Brown as my RB5. So we're gonna start that way. Achane is my RB6. So ideally I would have gone Irving Brown, which is like Irving at 109 is not like something you see very often, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I thought I was going to get Irving on the way back, but I don't know. Maybe that's silly. Maybe I should just taken my RB4 and RB5s. What do you think?
No, I think trying to maximize the value is not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I think in the first 3 rounds, I'm just going to take the guys. So anyway, Josh Jacobs just went. He was the guy that I actually have Josh Jacobs as my 6th overall player.
Oh wow, okay.
And my 7th overall player is Jonathan Taylor, who I'm taking right here.
Oh, okay.
And so, I've got Justin Jefferson as my 8th overall player. I did into my ranks this week thoroughly. We've been doing a bunch of best ball drafts with like general, but I really went through with thinking non-best ball. I've been in such a best ball mindset the last month.
Yeah.
And it really is different because there's different strategy and there's players that I'm just not going to touch in season long that I would, I just like Jaden Reed from the Packers. I feel like I have him like 35% of my leagues in best ball. Like in season long, I kind of want nothing to do with him.
Yeah. Well, he's banged up, but yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, he could like not be too hampered by the injury. Chase Brown, apparently Ben Wassley said not to take Chase Brown. I have to see it. I didn't get a chance. Chase Brown's awesome. I don't know why he said that, but maybe he has a after season bye week game might call. Well, we'll see. I wonder what Ben had to say about Chase Brown. I love Chase Brown. What do you think about him? Is he someone to avoid, as Ben Wassley said? I would love to hear why, though.
I'd be curious. I have him as my 14th overall best player going in the season long, 2025. So yeah. I sent you a text earlier today. I just posted my basically my official perfect draft plan. Mm-hmm. If anyone wants to see that, we can talk about it, I guess, after. But I was looking at my draft plan from 2024. I actually had some really good calls. I think 2024 is one of the best years I've had in a long time. I don't think I'm going to be that good. I just inevitably every year when I have a great year, I follow up with something sucky. So I'll probably be terrible in 2025.
I don't know. I think all these drafts you've done are really going to like propel you to the next level. That's how I feel. I don't know. I feel like I've ascended beyond rankings. I've kind of like made that joke before, but it's true. Like I know who I want. I know where like people are going. Like because I've done so many drafts this summer. It's insane. Like 155 drafts. Like I don't know. It just like it just I'm just going on memory at this point. But why do you like Jonathan Taylor? Because he's someone I'm not like super high on just because they lost like basically the entire right side of their offensive line.
Yeah, I kind of going through some last year's final rankings and looking at some players. And one of the guys I may take here, I'll talk about a lot of things went wrong for the Colts last year. And Taylor still was very productive. In fact, he was the number 1 running back in standard leagues the last 7 weeks of the season overall. So everything went wrong for that team. And he was still, depending on what scoring format, but he was the top 3 across the board, basically the second half of the year or the latter 40% of the season. And everything went wrong. And I watched him. He's just awesome. And so I I don't think he's the guy. I mean, remember not that long ago, he was the #1 running back overall, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and so I just think in terms of talent, if the Colts are even mediocre, I think he's in the running for the #1 running back in the league. Like I think that he's that kind of guy, and so so yeah, I'm my hope is to get let me see is I've not used Sleeper, by the way, so I feel like I'm taking a second to figure out how to use this software. I think we used it last summer, right? We drafted here a couple times.
Yeah, we started on Fantasy Football Calculator. That was a disaster, and this is a lot better. There's so many things wrong with Fantasy Football Calculator. I mean, you have 60 seconds, so I'm sure you can figure it out. But we used to get kicked out all the time.
Yeah.
Like there were players who were missing. It was fun to take like random people at the end of the draft where you like kind of forgot. James Cook. Tell us about James Cook because he just signed a big contract today.
Yeah, I mean, I was, I certainly had him a little lower. Obviously, we didn't know what was going to happen, but now that they signed him, they've committed to him $30 million guaranteed. Wow, fully guaranteed too. Not like gimmicky guaranteed money. Like it's legit, fully guaranteed. Hey, good on you, bro. I think he's a great player. I think it's a great offense. I have no reason to suspect why they would go away from him. Chuba Hubbard, who I've kind of been warming up on more, just went.
Yeah, I like Chuba Hubbard. In best ball, he goes 5th round, but it makes sense for running backs to go earlier in regular fantasy. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I usually wait till 4th round to go quarterback. Lamar Jackson kind of fell, so interesting that Jane Daniels went before Lamar Jackson. I mean, you could certainly argue Daniels should go before. I love Baltimore this year. The Ravens are my pick to win the Super Bowl, so I'm more than happy to ride any Ravens players if possible. So,
what pick is that overall? You just selected him at? Was that 35?
It's 33, I believe.
33. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have Lamar Jackson. We can talk about this later, but for the first time in probably 15 years, I'm okay with taking a quarterback before round 9.
I saw that in your draft plan. I almost texted you and asked, like, Kenny, are you okay? Did you hit your head? Because like you are like you were the first person I ever met who like was because everyone is always like, oh, take a quarterback early. Like talking to you, and the first time we met back in '99, like you were like, no, take a quarterback as late as possible. Oh crap, Travion Henderson. There goes my plan. I was like, okay, I'm going to take Travion Henderson. Troy McClure, you are a thorn in my side today. That's a great drafting. Irving Brown, Henderson Burris is a fantastic start. It's a tremendous team. I'm jealous of your team. I should have drafted 11th. No, I love Travion Henderson. I want to get your opinion on him, but I want to first ask about the quarterbacks because you had this like radical change in your opinion. So like why the sudden change in your opinion there?
Well, you're on the clock. I don't want to distract you, but I'll tell you in a second. Yeah.
All right. So given that Henderson's off the board, Hampton's gone too. And I believe, Kyron Williams went too. So all the running backs I take here I usually take here are gone. This is, how much time do I have? A minute? Okay. Where is this guy? Let's see. Did he go? Harrison. Is Marvin Harrison won already?
I don't see him.
Am I crazy? I guess he's gone. I don't know. I don't see him. He went 401. Never mind. I'm covering it up. So right. Yeah. So this is a tough spot. Given that all the guys I usually take are gone. So I guess I shouldn't have taken Lamar Jackson, huh? That's the problem because like drafting with these like sharp people in here, it's just like I have 20 seconds. So I guess I have like a default I'm gonna go with. I'm not very happy with it. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with RJ Harvey and just be done with my running backs. I haven't drafted RJ Harvey a lot. I just feel like like where I take him, there is just I feel like better options, but running backs go early in these drafts. So I like to be done with these running backs and just take like late round sleepers after this with my running backs. RJ Harvey is going to catch a lot of passes. I don't think he's that good. Like he's super explosive as an athlete. His vision kind of scares me. He reminds me of Miles Sanders in Europe. But Sanders had some really good fantasy seasons with the Eagles, and the Broncos have a good offensive line, so he could do well this year. So you're up. So what are you doing here?
Yeah. I can't find. Okay, I got 1 minute. So the this is a part of the draft where I'm there's one guy that just stands out to me as absolute boom or bust. Could be a total disaster. Could be a league winner. It's Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill. Everything went wrong last year. Just similar to Jonathan Taylor's situation. Everything went wrong for Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins last year. In standard scoring leagues, he was still the 23rd best receiver. The only reason it was a disaster was because he was drafted. Remember, he was drafted kind of a top 3 pick last year. I kind of forgot that.
Yeah. He was going 101 in some best ball drafts.
I went back and looked at last year's notes. Just as I was preparing, and I was like, wow, I forgot he was being drafted that high. If he had been a 4th round pick, you would go, that was a good pick. He returned value. He returned 4th round value. Everything went wrong for Tyreek Hill last year, and he was still a low end wide receiver 2. He was still worthy of a mid 4th round pick. Is everything going to go wrong in Miami again? I guess it's possible. But what if some things go right? Then he might return 2nd round value, or maybe what if McDaniel figures out how to not be an idiot? And
I think that's pretty difficult for him.
And what if Tua stays healthy? I know those are big ifs.
Yeah.
But if anything goes right, maybe he returns 1st round value. What if he ends up being the wide receiver 5 again? But I'm saying everything went wrong last year, and he was still wide receiver 23. Mm-hmm. So if I get wide receiver 23 in the second half of the 4th round, that's actually pretty decent value.
It is. I feel like there are just so many landmines for Hill just to avoid. He's 31. He had injuries recently. Tua has injuries. That offensive line sucks. McDaniel's an idiot. There's just so many problems that could go wrong for Hill that it's just difficult for me, and I'm just not taking him. In 155 drafts, I've not drafted him a single time. I just can't get to him, and in best ball he's going earlier, here at 407, 4th round is at least reasonable, but sometimes he's going late 2nd, early 3rd. I'm that's insane. Yeah. I can't do that. But 4th round, which is the dead zone, as I've called it, it's at least you can take a shot because. We can run through the dead zone here. I would not include Harrison because he usually goes 3rd round, and I'm not talking about the quarterbacks or tight ends. I'm talking about the running backs and receivers who go here. Harvey, he tends to go 5th round, so it's a reach. But I didn't have anyone I like left. You guys sniped me of everyone I liked, and Cassandra put it best. What Cassandra say? It's the perfect comment here. Well, you don't stand a chance that these people always take the players you like so they can hear you tell them how great they are drafting. So I never get anyone I like in these. So I have to reach. So moving on, Breece Hall. They're splitting the workload there. He's in 10 snaps of the starters in the first preseason game. He only played 5 snaps. He didn't play a single 3rd down, which is troubling because that's where he does a lot of his work, is catching the ball. He's not playing 3rd down anymore. We talked about Hill. Pacheco goes 7th round in best ball, so I guess this translates to 6th round in redraft. So he could not be recovered. I don't know. There's Metcalf. He usually goes 5th round. Connor, I have no interest in because he's 30 years old, and Connor himself said that it's going to be 1A and 1B with him and Benson. That's straight from the horse's mouth. So no interest there. Sutton's okay, and then Mahomes. That is a reach and a half. So so that is, do you see anyone in the 4th round you like outside of the quarterbacks and tight ends? Well, quarterback, not Mahomes.
Yeah, I'm fine with Breece Hall in that spot. you know, I don't know what to make the offense, so it's hard. So I don't know that I would take him there, but I like him in that range. Isaiah Pacheco, it's probably a little high for me. I like Connor there. I'm fine with Sutton. I actually love Sutton. I think Sutton's great. Zay Flowers is probably one of my favorite players. He just went in this sort of area. I'm fine with Devontae. I think I agree with you that the dead zone, it's more of a flattening zone for me rather than a dead zone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess you like some of the guys more. Like to me, I see Sutton as like being okay. Like he just had his best year. He's 30. You know, there could be some regression. Now that he's in that decade. So you're up, by the way. I don't know if you saw,
So
but
in this situation, I'm assuming 3 receivers, right? 2 running backs, 1 flex.
I mean, I don't. There's no like set parameters here. You know,
how do I draft a player that I have queued? Oh, there it is. Okay, I gotta. Yeah. To me, it's Kamara. Kamara is just I've got like a 3rd round grade on Kamara. He's awesome. I went back and watched his film from the last part of the year before he got injured. He was awesome, and that offense was terrible. So I have no qualms taking Kamara, and the fact that he's going 5th round or even later, like I just think it's criminal. So my guesstimate is I'm going to end up with a lot of Kamara because it feels like a lot of people are down on him.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him in the 7th round, honestly. I think that I think he's on the way out. He's 30. I'd rather take some of the younger running backs, and like late in the year, I don't think he's going to get much of a workload if the Saints are as bad as I think they are. And it violates one of my rules is to like not take players on bad teams. Some surprising players still left here, and I'm on the clock. I was hoping to get Zay Flowers as a pair with Lamar Jackson, just didn't work out. Not that it's like a huge issue. There's so many like decent receivers here, so let me go with I did not get AJ Brown. I feel like when I don't get AJ Brown, I try to get like Devontae Smith, just because like if AJ Brown's injured, like Devontae Smith goes nuts usually. But I mean Devontae Smith has a lot of upside. We talked about him like when we did an episode like a month ago or something, and I said I wasn't a fan of him because he was going late 4th, like in that dead zone. But I think like late 5 is a good spot for Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I mean I have him as the kind of in my 4th, 5th round pool. I'd be fine with him in the 4th or 5th round. So yeah, I think late 5th is good value.
Yeah. Some good receivers here. Hunter, I would have taken him. Not sure what to make of Rashee Rice. If it's 4 games, I'd be fine with him at 509, but it could be 6 potentially. So that's a little scary. Adams is great value if Stafford's healthy. I just don't know how that's going to shake out. He's like not practicing with his back. I don't know. What do you think about the Rams situation? Are you like comfortable at all drafting the receivers?
Yeah, I am because I just think they're great receivers, and I'm just going to assume that Stafford's going to be okay. Obviously, if he's not okay, you gotta downgrade. But they're still great receivers. I mean, I think Nacua and Adams are awesome, and I have no. The other thing is that Puka Nacua has he's been had injury issues himself, so. Mm-hmm. If he's injured for any length of time, he missed a few games, that bumps Adams up probably in the share targets, share of targets. And that makes him even more valuable. So I like Adams.
Ridley went, I was going to take Ridley. Troy's just like killing me tonight. Evans, like I'm not a fan of Evans in general, but like he's going 311, not 511. Pearsall went, guys. You're like, you're kicking my butt tonight. Like, let's see who's left at receiver. I mean, I kind of know who's left. I just don't want to take him this early, but then again, I'm not going to get him on the way back. So, it's gonna be a lot easier drafting when you're not going against everyone. Like everyone's as sharp as this. You know what? I think. I'm gonna wait and see where he goes. I think this is a good time to experiment. So I'm not taking my guy here. I'm gonna go with the value. I'm gonna go with McLaurin. McLaurin was going late round 3, before this holdout stuff got a little serious. But like James Cook's holdout just ended, like what if
Yep.
McLaurin's holdout ends tomorrow or next week? Like I think it'll be okay. It's not ideal that he hasn't been practicing. He might be more prone to injury, but like I would say 2 months ago, I was taking McLaurin in late round 3, and then Jane Daniels early round 4 to stack the Redskins. So to get him at 604, I think is just crazy value.
100%. I 100% agree. He was my next player queued up after Alvin Kamara. So, yeah.
Just take Ibuka now. No, he's like 119 in these rankings. There's no way he's gonna get back to me. You're up, by the way. I was like I want to see where he goes. Like, if he comes back to me 7-9, I will take him. But I want to see if he gets drafted before then. I love Ibuka, but I don't know. He's crept up to round 5, late round 5 in best ball. I feel like I've been a big part of that just because like they're kind of beating the drum on Ibuka for the past 2 months. So yeah. Anyway, what are you thinking here with your pick?
Yeah. So this is there's several players that I like in this spot, but I don't know. I'm not sure which ones are going to make it back to me. So that's what I'm trying to guesstimate. And so I think, I think I'm going to go. Man, I love the player. I'm just not sure about the situation. But I love to talk. Let's just talk about him. What do you think of George Pickens?
He was like the next guy I would have taken him, but McLaurin wasn't there. So I don't like where he's going in best ball. He's going like late round 4, mid round 4, sometimes early round 5. It's a little too early for me, but mid round 6 is pretty good.
Yeah, I love the player. I love him in Pittsburgh, obviously, but just unsure what to make of him in Dallas. And so so I've devalued him a little bit. To me, I have him right in this spot, like late 6th round, early 7th is the range I want to draft him in, ideally. The other guy hasn't gone yet though that I was considering, but I'll wait till he gets taken before I mention him.
Okay. Yeah, Pickens, like, Dallas, like, I'm worried about Dak staying healthy. I'm worried about the offensive line. They have injuries right now, so there are some problems there. And he's a head case. He could always just have a meltdown, but there's just too much talent to pass on him in mid round 6. So I like the pick. By the way, Brian Robinson just went, and someone told me to take Tedero McMillan. I don't like McMillan. So I saw something tonight from someone who covers the Redskins, Ben Standig from The Athletic. He said tonight or earlier today, I don't know what time, he said if he predicts that Brian Robinson Jr. will not be on the 53-man roster come week 1 for the Redskins.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And he was a disappointment last year, especially down the stretch. They like rotated him with Jeremy McNichols and Austin Eckler. Like he just like lost his starting role basically. And I don't want to mention the name, but they have someone else there that they like too. And I think that he's like a must draft now, especially in best ball. Like you can get him like round 14. That guy's like a must draft automatically. I don't know if this Standig guy is gonna be correct. I have no idea what his track record is either. He could just be a crappy reporter like like Benjamin Albright, who covers the Broncos. He's always wrong. But Ben Standig could I don't know his history, so he could be right or could be wrong. We'll see.
I am. It's interesting. You try to figure out ADP. You look at every website you look at. ADPs is so different. I've kind of abandoned using ADP. I'm more just using consensus ranking. So I'm going up, Pro Football Focus, Pro Fantasy Pros, CBS, Yahoo, just like looking at the consensus rankings that they've got listed. ESPN, obviously. And I'm just sort of like looking at those and going, like, trying to guesstimate, okay, these players are being drafted in this, they're being ranked. Because I think a lot of people just will draft close to the rankings of the default or the default rankings of the site, right? So I think there's a lot of guys that are just like, okay, they'll draft, they may not draft the next best player available on the website, but they're not going to draft the 10th guy down. They're going to draft one of the 3 or 4 next guys usually. Yeah. So I think I've been trying to do that quite a bit, trying to figure out ADP, and it just feels like guys are all over the map. So like Hawkinson, for example, I see him consistently 6th through 8th round. I mean, it's a pretty wide range for a guy of his. Jaden Blue just went. Like, I've seen Jaden Blue all over the map as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that depends on like the strength of the drafter. Like, average Joe is not going to know who Jaden Blue is. Or like maybe they heard the name, but like they don't know to take him. Whereas like Butters, I feel is a sharp drafter. Like he had a great draft last night that we did. So he knows to take Jaden Blue, who I think he's the guy to own. You took Mark Andrews. You stole Andrews from me, Kenny, because I was going to pair him with Jackson because I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I didn't get Zay Flowers. Maybe I'll get Andrews, but you broke my heart. So you want to talk about him?
You're welcome. I think it's great value. I have him as the 4th best tight end. I think Mark Andrews is easily a 5th round, 6th round value. To get him in the 7th, I just think is great value.
Yeah, and Isaiah Likely's hurt right now. Although I'm in best ball, I am taking Likely. If he falls to me in round 16, I'm taking him just because like he's not going to be out for that long.
Right.
So I just think the values there. It's like your tight end 2 in round 16. Like it seems pretty good. I've done a 180 on Debo. I came into the offseason not liking him, but as his ADP has fallen down and down, like, and I thought about it, like he had pneumonia last year, like. There's a reason why he struggled last year, and with McLaurin holding out, like he could be the receiver 1 there. If McLaurin's traded. So I've liked Samuel more than I have than we previously spoke.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, where do I have Samuel? I think 7th round is a decent value for him. I think I have him more like. I think I have him paired into my 6th round crew.
Mm-hmm.
So. I've got a few guys that are still on the board. One guy is still on the board ahead of him, and he just went. So
anyway, who was that?
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Okay. Are you concerned about Mason taking the workload there?
I'm not at all. I've watched Jordan Mason play. I don't think he's that good. I know he went here in this draft pretty early.
Yeah. He went before Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I think Aaron Jones is clearly a better player. I'm sort of surprised by that.
Well, I said I was going to take Ibuka at 709. He fell to me at 709, so I kept my promise and I drafted him. I think there's a chance he's a receiver 1 in Tampa by the end of the year. With Evans 32 having chronic hamstring issues, Godwin's not going to play anytime soon. Ibuka's a monster too. He's so good. And he produced at Ohio State like in receiver rooms that are better than what they have in Tampa right now, given Godwin's injury. He played with Jackson Smith and Jigba. He produced with him. Garrett Wilson produced with him. Jeremiah Smith, who's going to be top 3, top 5 pick in 2027. He produced with him there. He's going to be productive. Assuming Godwin doesn't have this like miraculous recovery. I think Ibuka is just a great option, and I had to take him at 709 because Troy was going to draft him. I was going to take Golden. I was like, all right, I'm going to take Ibuka here, then Golden 804. Of course, Troy. It's like me once again. It's unbelievable, Troy. Like you're killing me here. I hope you're not in one of my fantasy leagues for the real ones. Thank goodness I don't draft best ball with you. I would never get anyone to like. I'd like quit best ball.
The scouting reports I've read on Golden, and I don't watch college football, so I'm just so dependent on the reports. But the scouting reports I read of Golden is not exciting.
Yeah, I hear that.
Bigsby in the 8th round. Whoa.
Yeah, Troy sniped you this time. Downs. I was going to take Downs. My God, what is happening here? I don't think there's any receivers I like left. I think they're all gone. So maybe there's one guy who's injured right now. I will take him. I'm gonna take you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna I have 3 running backs, 4 receivers. You know what? No, I'm not gonna take him. I'm gonna take someone else instead. And it's someone I'm taking in the 9th round every time. And 9th round in best ball translates to 8th round in regular draft. I'm gonna take Zach Charbonnet. Kenneth Walker, I think, is injured right now. I think he returned to practice, but he's always injured. And won't surprise me if he's traded. It's his final year of his deal. Seattle's not going to be a good team. And Seattle's running a lot of 2 running back personnel. So Charbonnet is going to get he's going to get work even when Walker's on the field. But I think there's a good chance Walker is not on the team or is injured. in the second half of the year, and I think Charbonnet could just go off.
Yeah, I mean, I love Charbonnet as a player. You know, I think we debated him last year. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as Ken Walker's there, though, obviously that makes it hard. But if Walker's injured, I'm actually surprised they didn't give Charbonnet more opportunity as kind of a
Yeah,
1A or a 1B last
yeah,
year.
yeah. I agree. Jennings is the guy I was considering. I don't know what's going on with him. Like he's had this calf injury for like months. He just can't practice. Like what is happening there? Maybe he'll be fine by week 1, but like he just can't. He can't get healthy. It's crazy.
Like, Garendo in round 8 feels pretty early.
You know what, Garendo? So round 12 used to be Garendo time. I used to always joke like Garendo. It's Garendo time to say Garendo. Given his injury, which is kind of weird because it's only like a 3-week thing with the shoulder, he's now going round 14 or 15 in best ball. So like that's actually helped me out because I don't have to take him in round 12 now. Like in round 12, I can take another running back. Round 13, I take this receiver I love, and then round 14, depending on where I draft, I could take Garendo, or like sometimes round 15 if it's early enough. So things have changed.
I think the idea of value, like, so you know, you took Ibuka there. I like Ibuka a lot, but to me, like 7th round, like I'm not capturing the value that I love. Like I love him in the 8th or the 9th. Like I love Garendo in 12th or the 11th.
Well, Ibuka's not going round 8 or round 9. He's going round 5 now. He went. I did a draft an hour ago. He went 5'11
in best ball or mock or season long
in best ball. But like,
okay,
I think best ball's ahead of season long, and like people who draft in best ball, I think are smarter than season long. But like, eventually, season long people catch up to it because they hear about. Because what happens is like best ball, like people are spending money all the time best ball, so they're ahead of the curve, I think. And then what happens is the people who do the YouTube videos, they see this and they're like, okay, let me talk about this guy. And then people who do redraft, they see the videos and they're like, okay, let me take this guy. So like it's just like it feels like redraft is like a week or 2 behind what best ball is. So like if Ibuka's going round 5 now, and I think in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I think by the end of August, he's definitely going to go round 5, round 6.
Yeah, well, that to me is not like then they're no longer there's Mixon. I was intentionally holding off on Mixon because I wanted to see where he would go.
So I called them the falling knife when we did that draft.
Yeah,
It's funny. We were off air. It would have been funny because like you came into the draft. We did for those of you who don't like we did a video about busts, and then we signed off air, and then you're like, I'm not tired, let's do a best ball draft. So we did a best ball draft together, and like before it started, you're like, you know, I have so much Joe Mixon, I can't take Joe Mixon. I need less exposure. And then like round 8, he's available, and you're like, I need to take Joe Mixon. And then you drafted him.
and so I just you know, I was just reading some news clippings today. Like everyone seems to think he's going to be back by week 1. I hope so because you know I own him in over 40% of my best ball leagues.
Oh man, I hope for your sake he comes back.
You know, I mean, 8-12. Like if he's healthy, let's say by week 2 or 3. I mean, Joe Mixon in my mind is a 3rd or 4th round pick if he's fully healthy. So, I mean, it's unbelievable value.
If he's healthy, yeah. I don't know. I worry about the offensive line there. Like it was ranked the worst offensive line in the NFL, I think, by Fantasy Pro or maybe PFF. I can't remember who it was. Some big publication ranked Houston as the worst offensive line in the NFL. And Mixon's 32. Not 32, 3200. I don't know, man. As these old running backs, I'd rather just go with younger guys. I do like the talent. Like, I mean, round 8's a steal. But
I mean, if you say that, I guess we could. I mean, when we're not drafting, to me, I hear that. I go, okay, that sounds right. But then I actually make the list and go, he's clearly better than all these guys. Like, it's like he was awesome last year. He was awesome in the playoff game. Like, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I just go, the last time I saw this guy play, he was awesome. I have trouble believing that he's not going to be awesome, assuming he's healthy. Yeah, and the offensive line wasn't good last year either.
Yeah, but they had Tunsil, and he's gone now. So I mean that is a huge loss, you know. Um, so let's do like this or that. Like you said, you would rather mix in. I don't know if you want to how far up you want to go. You can start round 4. Would you have rather Mixon or Harvey?
Mixon.
Okay, well, I'd rather have Harvey. You're up, so we can
All right.
continue this after your pick. But
Yeah,
um,
okay, so what am I ninth round here? What's my ninth round plan is yeah, Obuka was, I
2-0.
guess,
Did I say 2-0? Oops. Look, guys, I had to watch my kids today. Like both those kids. I've my brain is fried right now. 2-0. Um, what's the ownership? What's the site you use to see your ownership in your best ball lineups? It's just DraftKings. If you, if you draft on DraftKings, you go to lineups. You have to do this on, laptop or desktop. It doesn't work on your phone for some reason. But if you go to, we're gonna do it right now. If you go to lineups, and then actually says under my lineups, there are 4 rectangles, 4 gray rectangles. It says view exposure, and then it just pops up on the screen. It's like pretty easy to access. I'm gonna be up in one pick here, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know why you can't do it on your phone. Like
No, you can't.
you've tried it, yeah, you've tried it. I don't know why, but anyway, Mixon or Brees Hall?
Brees Hall.
Okay, Mixon or Pacheco?
Mixon.
Probably, yeah. Mixon or Connor?
It's close. I think so. Say Mixon, but it's close.
Okay,
Again, assuming Mixon is healthy.
Yeah, I am up now. Some interesting names still on the board here, but I'm not too surprised. I know you don't like this guy. I'm going to take him. In Sean Payton's offense, you're going to see the Joker role. I both Jokers, by the way, Harvey and Ingram. They're the pass catching running back and the pass catching tight end in Sean Payton's offense. That's what he calls them, the Jokers. So Ingram is just like the injury worry I have, but he's still going to catch a ton of passes. I'm not in love with this pick, but like, I mean, honestly, like a lot of the guys I love have been taken already. So it's just difficult to draft in this sort of room. But I guess this is good practice for the real thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where were we? So you, what was your answer on Connor? Because I was deciding my pick.
I think it's really close. I think I would give Connor to slight edge.
Okay. I'm down on Connor as well.
He's pretty close though.
Okay. Pollard or Mixon?
Mixon.
Okay, I'm Pollard. Kamara or Mixon?
Oh, Kamara. Yeah.
Okay, I'm down on both. Swift or Mixon?
No, I'm taking Mixon over Swift.
Okay, I like Swift. Tracy or Mixon?
Mixon, but it's close. I'm getting higher on Tracy by the day.
Yeah, me too. His ADP is rising. It was 8th round like a week ago, and now he's going 7th round. He went 6th round here. But running backs go early in redraft. Not Samuel. Caleb Johnson or Mixon.
Yeah, I don't know if Caleb Johnson is good. I don't. Yeah, so I would go Mixon, but I just don't know. I could be totally wrong.
Okay. Montgomery or Mixon?
Yeah, Mixon. I think Montgomery sucks.
Yeah, and I'm out of Montgomery now. Let's skip Robinson because we don't know his status. And I know you don't like Mason. What about Blue or Mixon?
I don't know enough about Blue, so my default is to say Mixon, but I'm trying to figure out what to think of Blue.
Okay. And then we have Aaron Jones or Mixon.
I'm going Mixon.
Okay, Jalen Warren Mixon. This is a big test here.
It's close. I think Mixon by a small hair.
Okay, Bigsby or Mixon. Another big
yeah, I think. I mean, I love Bigsby, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm a big Bigsby fan right now.
Well, let me get your opinion on Bigsby because I don't know if you saw the first preseason game. ATN started, and I thought when that happened, I was like, okay, they're showcasing him for trade, right? But then in practices afterward, it was ATN getting all the first team reps. So what are your thoughts on that? Because I was kind of miffed when I saw that.
I just think he sucks. So I don't know.
He does suck. But like, why are they giving him touches? I just don't get
I don't like. This is the night, right. 90% of what comes out of training camp is stuff that if you listen to will harm you.
No.
Only 10% is valuable. We just don't know what 10% it is. So I ignore all of it. And I think like the last time I saw ATM play, he sucked. And I'm just I refuse to believe that he's gonna be valuable. No.
I'd be shocked if he is. You're up, by the way, but
here I am in round 10, and several of the tight ends I like are still on the board. So part of me regrets the Mark Andrew pick a little bit, but that's all right. Yeah, I think this is my quarterback territory right here, round 10.
Justin Herbert. Okay. Well, why Herbert? And then talk about Dobbins too, because you didn't mention him.
Oh yeah, I love Herbert. I mean, I think Herbert's a great player. He's got all the talent. He makes all the throws. He maybe has the strongest arm or second strongest arm in the NFL. And we've just seen him be phenomenal for long stretches, and we've seen him be totally boneheaded for stretches. As I survey the landscape, I think at worst he's the 8th best fantasy quarterback this year. Like I can't imagine a scenario where he's less than that. But like, what if if the Chargers take a step forward, better coach, or Hardball, continue to develop the program there, and Ladd McConkey takes a step forward. Trey Harris is there. I think the rookie they just drafted. I think all of that says to me, I think Herbert has a chance to take a major step forward and be kind of a top 5, top 4 fantasy quarterback. To get him in the mid to late 10th round, I just think is great value. Of all the quarterbacks that are still on the board, in my opinion, there's only one other guy that I think has a legit kind of top 3, top 4 potential.
I wonder who that is. If he comes off the board, let us know. But I do like Herbert. I worry about the left tackle situation because Slater got hurt for the year, but he should still have a really good season. So what about Dobbins? Why'd you take him?
Dobbins, he was awesome when we saw him last year. Of course, it's the injuries. It's the injury. I said something in my article that I posted today. It may sound hyperbolic, but if Dobbins was healthy his whole career, I think he would have been a Hall of Famer. Like I think he's that kind of talent.
It's crazy. It's a shame how his career has just been like just ruined by all these injuries. It's insane.
Yeah. I think he was such a great player coming out. I mean, I would have the Eagles have drafted him in the second round that year so badly. Of course, they drafted Jalen Hurts, so maybe I was wrong.
Well, we trashed the Hurts pick, so I think we
did. So clearly, I was not. Maybe they should. I'm not a GM. There's a reason why.
But well, in fairness, they did give Wentz that huge contract. Right. So
I remember thinking to myself, "Oh my gosh, this is so great." I love J.K. Dobbins. Anyway, I think he's a great player, and he was still really productive last year. And I guess I'm looking at the Broncos. I expect them to be better. I expect their defense to be better. I expect their offense to take a step forward. I expect Bo Nix to be better. I like Sean Payton. And all the scouting reports I'm reading on R.J. Harvey are terrible. Like the guys that I trust just say like all the comps are Tevin Coleman or Miles Sanders. Right? He's a fantastic athlete. He's a burner, but no vision. Like to me, those kinds of guys eventually get phased out. And so even if like R.J. Harvey figures it out, but like I could easily see them relying on Dobbins a bunch. It kind of being a 1A, 1B for this season, and then maybe they hand the reins to Harvey. I mean, we saw that in Atlanta with Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. We've seen that with other running back situations where the coaching staff brings the running back along, a little slower.
Yeah. Yo, timed out.
So I love Dobbins, and I mean he's my 4th running back. Yeah. So of course he's going to be injured at some point. So that's I mean
I gotta refresh this. I'm hearing ticking sounds in my head. That was like the one issue I had with Sleeper last year. I don't know if that happened to you, but sometimes when
No.
guys time out, like the ticking still goes. And I do have exploding head syndrome, as I've revealed a while ago, which is it sounds a lot worse than it is. It's like it's not serious at all. It's like when you hear like knocking, like that's not there in your head. And I thought I was like, I'm like, man, am I going crazy here? Because I sometimes hear knocking, and it's like I read about it, and it's like, yeah, you're tired, go to sleep. It's basically what it is. But like, no, I hear the knocking sometimes, and like when I hear this ticking, it like really bothers me, because like it's like that's what I hear sometimes, like especially if I'm working late and I'm just like overtired. So I only sleep like 4 hours a night. Like
You're
I
nuts.
I can't sleep more than that. Like it's just like the scheduling thing here. Like it's so rough here, um, because like I can't go to sleep before a certain time because my wife sets alarms like nonstop, and then when I if I wake up at like 9:30 or 10, I just look at the clock. I'm like, okay, the stock market's open. I gotta start trading. Um, so I don't know, just like so much going on. Like when I was in Vegas, I actually slept like way more than I ever do, and it was like 6.5 hours or 7.
It's a huge amount. It's a huge.
I know. Anyway, we have 4 hours. Yeah, look, I go to bed at I go up to bed at like 5:40 a.m. And by the time I brush my teeth and like go to the bathroom, floss, etc., I'm in bed by like 5:50, 5:55, and then I'll like set my alarms and stuff like that or whatever, or like look at my calendar. And like by the time I would say by the time I'm asleep, it's like probably 6:05 a.m. And then I'll usually wake up at like 10 o'clock, like 10:05, something like that. I woke up today at 10:10, I think. So it was
Nice.
like 4 hours and 5 minutes. Those extra 5 minutes is a huge deal. No, I don't know. I just always function like this. I'm always like, if I get like 4.5 or 5, that's like perfect. For some like if it's a weekend, I'll get like 4.5 or 5. But if it's a weekday, like I know the market's open. So and I trade options. So like those are time sensitive. So um, you really have to be on top of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I'm always like doing stuff. I'm always like either working on my site or trading. Kind of have to, in this sort of environment that we're in. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, like, is there anyone else? Let me know in the chat if anyone else sleeps as little as I do. It'd be nice to meet someone like that. You're up, by the way.
Yeah. You certainly keep the craziest hours of anyone I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can't. If I try to sleep 8 hours, I don't think I could do it. It's just like too much to do. I feel like I don't know, like a little manic, I guess. A little manic, not completely. All right. While you're deciding, you're the exact same way. Okay, interesting. You have that trophy. I do OTC stocks. I used to do OTC stocks. I don't know. I mean, it got burned by too many of them. I usually get 3 hours. Nice. Yeah. Do you have exploding head syndrome too, Bagley? I'm kind of curious about that. Maybe it's because I only get 4 hours of sleep that I get it sometimes. But like, yeah, I'll sometimes hear a knock, and I like for a second I'm like, is that real? And then like my dog is not reacting, so obviously it's not. She's usually sometimes down here. She's not. You took Darnell Mooney. I don't know if you heard the news. He's
Yeah, he's got a shoulder injury, right?
yeah. His coach Raheem Morris said he's not sure when he's going to return. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think.
know.
Yeah, he was going like eighth, ninth round, and
But yeah, best
um,
ball is going like ninth. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, I read today. I thought he said that they were expecting him to be back by week 1. Um, and he'll miss most of training camp, but is likely to play week 1. That's at least that's the most recent report I read.
So the report I have is Raheem Morris. Oh, I was gonna take the word. Darnell Mooney will play at some point this year, according to Raheem Morris. So that doesn't sound great. I was gonna take. You guys are taking all my players. I think I might take a second quarterback just because I don't like any of these options. Man, I don't know. I don't want to take this guy. Not this guy. Well, I definitely don't want to take that guy. It just clicked him by accident. Sorry. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Corey Krosky Merritt. Let's go.
That's the guy for Washington, right?
Yes. He wants to be called Bill Krosky Merritt. I don't know why. So Bill Jacory Krosky Merritt, whatever he is, he's been impressive in training camp. And given this new report that they may Brian Robinson Jr. may not be on the team, like he could be the starter week 1. Crazier things have happened. Remember, like the Chiefs went with Pacheco, who was a late round pick. We saw Philip Lindsay, the Broncos running back. He was like either a 7th rounder undrafted. Like he came out of nowhere. So this has happened before. This is not unprecedented. So
right.
I think he absolutely has to be drafted in the double-digit rounds now.
Peyton Hill is another one.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to take Thornton Bagley. My little sleeping friend here. He took Thornton. Thornton's just an amazing player. He's a great athlete. First of all, 6'5", 230. He runs a 4.3, and he's been running with the first team all summer. And you always hear that, like first team, whatever. So I asked Charlie, who has sources with the Raiders, like higher up sources, not like scout, whatever. And both of them independently told him that they think Thornton's the real deal, and they think he's going to be the leading wide receiver on the team. So over Jacoby Myers. So that is it's high praise, and Charlie is always right, unless he's betrayed by a source, and the sources that he's talked to are good ones who have never let us down. So I've drafted Thornton in like almost every draft in best ball over the past couple of weeks. Thornton used to be like 10% owned. He's now 41% owned for me.
Wow. Where do I have him listed? I think I have him listed as it's 11th round and beyond, kind of pick.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Shipley goes another late round running back you should look at. I need receivers badly, or I could take a quarterback too and take more receivers later, which I think I could probably do. Let's see. I'm going to take Drake May. And because he has so much upside. I usually don't like to draft 2 quarterbacks, but if you have someone like Drake May who could become like a superstar fantasy player, suddenly I can make a trade or something. I could trade May or even Jackson or something, and get some of those receivers that I need.
Well, remember earlier I said there was one other quarterback that I think has a chance to be a top 3 or 4.
I thought it might be him. Yeah,
yeah, it's definitely Drake May. He's really good.
Yeah.
If I didn't know any better, if looking at last year's quarterbacks, I'm on the clock here. Let me queue up my player here. There's a guy that I'm kind of smitten with in a weird way, and I'm going to take him. And we talk about him, Jerome Ford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in Jerome Ford right now. But Drake May is. If I didn't know better, if someone asked me, is Drake who's the best quarterbacks from the 2024 draft, I would say Jaden Daniels and then Drake May.
Yeah.
And then there's a gap. And then I might say there's a competition there's like a 3-way tie.
Important. Yeah.
Drake May he might be the best quarterback in 2024, him and Jaden Daniels are the top 2. So I just I love his arm. I love his kind of his vision and be able to see the field. I think he's athletic enough to get some rushing yards. I expect that offense to be better. I like it. I like him. I like the weapons there a little bit. I think the Patriots players are undervalued.
Yeah, and they have the second easiest schedule in the NFL. So, and the Niners are the easiest. So, like any Niners or any Patriot players, like I'm on board. And I find myself stacking Henderson with May, because Henderson's going to catch like a ton of passes. So it's like usually you don't like stack quarterback with running back, but like this is a different scenario. So I usually end up with both of them. which I think is a good stack given the easy schedule. And like you said, Torrey Horton is a great pick by Kid No Name. He definitely caught my eye. So he was hyped up in training camp, and like, yeah, you hear that all the time. Like, remember, like Todd Pinkston was always hyped up in training camp, like he did nothing. But like he looked like the real deal in the preseason. And I know that like, preseason is not the end all be all, but like we have training camp check, preseason check. This guy looks really good. So I've been taking him like 17th round in best ball all the time. So just in case it's the real deal. And there's really no receiver 2 in Seattle. Like it's Cooper Kupp, which I think might be the only player I didn't like from Butters. I didn't like Mims either, but Cooper Kupp I would not draft. I don't think at all. I don't think if Cooper Kupp was on the board right now, I don't think I would draft him. He's just done. Like he's not a legit player anymore. And Marquez Valdes-Scantling, we joke about him all the time, having like you'll have like 2 great games and that's it. Like they need an actual receiver too, and it looks like it's gonna be Horton. Just from everything I've read and seen. So I don't know if you got to check him out. Like I of course watch every preseason game because that's what I do. But did you get a chance to check him out? Because he looked really good to me.
No, I have not watched him play. I don't watch the preseason. I actually love myself, Walter.
Well, I do it for you guys, so you guys can read about it and you don't have to watch it.
You're a man of the people. You are a man of the people.
I make that sacrifice. No, he looks good. I think like round 12, I think that's the right spot for him. Just try to target him like round 12 if you need a receiver.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not like he was this. He was a 5th round pick, right, in the draft, right? I mean, he wasn't like a schlep off the street.
Right. I think he fell because of some injury concerns, if I remember correctly, but they weren't too bad. Oh. So you are up right now.
I was just going to take Pop Douglas here in the 13th round.
And Nuggets said yesterday he thinks the Patriots are going to cut him. And I was like, what? Why are they going to cut him? I didn't agree with that.
All of the beat right. Okay, well, let me see. Okay, let me see. I've already got 5 running backs here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, I got 5 running backs. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 receivers. I need another receiver. Let's go with another guy. No, this is a terrible idea. Don't take him. Okay.
I decided I have to read this. Wait, hold on. You think given that Walt has showered and changed clothes only 3 dozen times in 10 years that he'd have plenty of time to get some sleep in there somewhere?
Well done.
And speaking of Patriots, almost every single thing Nuggets said last night about what Patriots beat writers are reporting or knowledgeable people in Boston are saying about them was garbage. I don't understand. Like you said, they're going to cut Pop Douglas. I don't know. Like he's the number 1 receiver there. So Diggs is, but Trey Harris. Okay, why Trey Harris?
I'm taking a flyer, and I think everything. He's a 2nd round pick, pedigree. People say he can fly, he can run the deep pattern. Justin Herbert's got a heck of an arm. Yeah, and to me, if he ends up sucking and not being great, I can cut him. I think high upside, low floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just like very strange. So like he hasn't caught a single pass in the preseason yet. I don't know if that doesn't mean much, but he just like hasn't done anything. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that could certainly turn around. All the receivers are gone. I have drafted this guy. I'm kind of like embarrassed to say it, but I have drafted this guy in round 12 sometimes in best ball, and it's round 13 here. Adam Thielen. He had some big games last year, and I know that like his ADP is down because they drafted Tetero and McMillan, but I don't know about Leggett is like getting kicked out of games, and I don't really trust McMillan either. And like Thielen is just kind of like the reliable slot receiver. Troy Franklin went. That's great pick by Armac. He's the receiver too there. So that could have been my pick as well. But no, Thielen. I don't necessarily think he's done. He could regress a little bit more, and I could end up cutting him if this were a real draft. But look, there's not much left at receiver anyway, so why not go with him? I'm surprised though you didn't take Keaton Mitchell there, Kenny, who went 1 pick right after.
Well, I thought he would last a little longer, so I've been in best ball mode, so I need to kind of readjust here. I'm gonna.
I know. Yeah, Keaton Mitchell goes like 16th round best ball. If you think about it, like people take 3 quarterbacks in best ball. People take multiple tight ends in best ball. Like that doesn't happen. So like Keaton Mitchell, 13th round is I think equivalent to like where he goes in best ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. This is the first time I've done a mock draft with humans rather than bots, and so I'm having to make sure I'm kind of adjusting. Okay, there's several players that I'm surprised where they went, and I'll be curious to see over the next week or two as I get into doing some mock drafts with humans rather than bots. How that shapes. Is this an anomaly? This group of drafters, or is this going to be more representative of what I'm facing in a couple weeks in season long drafts?
Well, look, I mean, we've been in the same league since what, 05, 06.
Yeah.
There are some dumb drafters in our league. Like, let's face it. Like, there's some good smart ones. I feel like half the league is smart and half the league is dumb. Would you say that's correct?
Yeah. I'm not half as dumb.
Maybe 60-40 smart to dumb.
Yeah, there's like 4 guys that I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's always the same guys, always drafting players. So like, they're like,
hey, thanks for the 100, brothers.
Yep. Oh man. So it's not gonna be as tough. This is a lot tougher, I think, than normal. So anyway, what am I doing here? I think if we're gonna have Mike Lachine on tomorrow, I think he would tell me to take a certain player here if we're drafting together as usual. You know what? This is a best ball guy, but there's like no receivers left. I'm gonna take Alec Pierce. And it like from all accounts, Alec Pierce has looked much better in training camp, and Richardson is going to start. It seems like Richardson's going to start. So Richardson and Pierce are they're best friends. So like Pierce might be the guy to own because Richardson's going to take shots downfield. I don't know. It's the 14th round, and all the guys I like are gone. So I don't know. It's not like the best pick. I don't know if I do that in a real draft because like there are going to be players that I actually like who are going to be available. So there's really nothing here.
I'm intentionally taking some players I just want to talk about that I've been interested in.
Okay.
I've been intrigued by. One is Jerome Ford. We didn't talk about him. Who's going to be the Browns running back?
Probably Sampson, I would think, right?
I guess so, but like Jerome Ford is not an amazing player, but he's one of the fastest players in the NFL. And he's not a tiny guy. If the Browns offense was mediocre and they actually gave him opportunities, I think he would be a decent, like occasional flex play. And so, I took him in the 12th round here. I don't know that I would actually take him in a real draft in the 12th round. I think maybe 13th I'd actually prefer. But I'm interested in what the Browns do in running back, because over the last couple of years, even though team has been dysfunctional, they've actually produced on the ground to some extent. And like the Browns, like there's actually some players on the team I kind of like. There's, kind of, not a ton. So, I don't know. It's like the quarterback position obviously still is a disaster. Like, what are they going to do there? And I don't know if one of these guys they drafted is going to be good. Sanders or the other kid. What's his name?
Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel's 5'10".
Like, like I don't know if any of these guys are good. I don't know if Joe Flacco's gonna, the corpse of Joe Flacco is gonna be tread out there again. Yeah. Well, I have no idea, but I'm kind of interested in what happens there.
It's such a bad situation when they have a quarterback. Like, I don't know if you saw that meme. I posted it on Twitter. Who sent it to me? Oh, Tom sent it to me. That meme where like a woman is holding up her kid and like the other kids are drowning, and then they show the
Oh
skeleton
yeah,
at the bottom of the pool. It was so funny. They're showing the mom holding up the kid. It said Tyler Huntley, and then there were 4 kids drowning. It was like Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, and Kenny Pickett, and then at the bottom was Deshaun Watson. I thought that was
it's pretty
hilarious.
good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. That situation is a disaster in Cleveland. They could be the worst team in the NFL this year. So I just want to avoid people from Cleveland. Like that's my rule. Like don't draft players on horrible teams unless they're elite. Like Malik Neighbors with the Giants. I don't know. I like. Is Ford gonna be the primary ball carrier like baby? Like it could be like 50-50 with Sampson, or what if Judkins comes back? Like suddenly like he's in play,
Judkins is going to be in prison.
he could very well be, yeah.
I have zero.
I think there's a better chance he's in prison than he's on the football field.
By the way, right now, see, like I drafted Andrews, and I love Mark Andrews, but there are several tight ends on the board that I would have been fine with. So like it's just a good learning lesson for me. Okay, I drafted Rachaad White. I'll talk about him in a second. I'm going to draft this guy, Cedric Tillman, because I just want to talk about him.
Okay.
But Rachaad White in the 14th, 15th round is where I'm seeing him go. I love Bucky Irving. I was an early adopter of Bucky Irving, but like I feel like sometimes we just we have amnesia. Like Rachaad White had 200 touches last year. I don't think he's a good player. I think he's a below average player. But like I think the Buccaneers are going to be a decent offense, and like I don't think Rachaad White's going to get 0 touches. And Bucky Irving, as much as I love him, is freaking 187 pounds soaking wet, and he runs like he's Derrick Henry. He thinks he's Derrick Henry. He thinks he's 260. He invites contact. Like his style is the kind of guy that gets injured. He misses a game or two, so or maybe more. I hope not. I love Bucky Irving. I think he's a great player and want him to be great. But like Rachaad, like a running back behind the small running back, going to get 200 touches in what I think is going to be a decent offense. Like I don't know. It's interesting to me that Rachaad White's going so late, and like it's weird. I found myself in a weird position because I've been like the biggest Rachaad White hater for like the last 3 seasons. I mean, like, I don't know anyone who's bagged on this guy more than me. And now I'm like, wait a minute, why is he going in the 14th, 15th round? I don't understand that.
I don't think he's going to be on the team. I think they're going to trade him. I thought they were showcasing him in the preseason game. Like they played him with all the backups. Like there was no Evans, there was obviously no Godwin, no Mayfield. No Bucky Irving, but they started Rachaad White and they gave him like a decent number of carries, and that kind of like screamed trade to me because they love Sean Tucker. Like I think Sean Tucker, if you want to handcuff Irving, I think Sean Tucker is the way to go because like Rachaad White handles a different load, a different job with the team. Like I think if Irving would go down, I think Sean Tucker replaces Bucky, and then White continues to do what he does. But I think White's gonna be traded. So anyway, I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. Why not take another player from the team? Look, Godwin's going to be out for a long time. Evans has chronic hamstring issues. In this scenario where I have Igbuka as my receiver 1, maybe McMillan's the receiver 2. I don't know. I don't like anyone here in the 15th round. But Ingold, I love the pick by Slew. That was great. Van Jefferson. He did look pretty good in the preseason game. I don't know. I'm just not taking him. But Cam Ward's a great value in the 15th round, by the way. If you want to wait on a quarterback, that's outstanding value. You said tight ends were good here. I assume Tyler Higbee's still available, so you can get him. Theo Johnson, I like a lot.
Dallas Goedert, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts. I mean, I'm a Pitts hater, but Mike Gesicki, I'd roll with any one of those guys week 1.
Yeah, you could just play. Given that so many of them are undrafted, you could just play matchups. I say this all the time. There are certain teams that can't cover tight ends, and so if you just go with them, like you can outproduce most tight end production. So is League Safe good to use? Have you heard this? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I've used League Safe.
What's League Safe? What is that?
It basically, if you're playing fantasy football with a bunch of strangers, everyone puts their money in there and the league holds it.
Oh, okay.
The League Safe holds it, and then you want to just make sure that the settings are set in a way that that the commissioner doesn't have full. You can set it where the commissioner has full authority to do whatever you want, like to move the money as he sees fit, which kind of defeats the purpose of having League Safe, in my opinion. But then you can have a system where it's a majority vote or a certain percentage of vote. And so we had, I in my big money auction league that I was in for, almost 20 years, that I just retired from, and we just we would put all money in the League Safe, and then at the end of the year, the results would go in, and it would go out to the league, and 2/3 of the league would have to vote to confirm that was indeed the right results, and then League Safe would then disperse the money.
So you just don't trust your commissioner at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're playing with certain, like, at the end of the day with the league I was in, we ended up being friends, but when we started the league, we didn't know each other.
Okay.
So it was a bunch of guys from Philly that didn't know each other. We started it from a forum of a bunch of guys that wanted to do a higher stakes auction league. So
you retired from it? Kind of sad. You always talked about it.
I know I retired. I got too much going on in life, and I had to retire. I got to get out of some leagues. So it's a real big bummer because probably one of my favorite leagues I've ever been in. So if anyone from PayPal watching this, shout out, my favorite league ever.
That's sad. You always talked about it. All right. So do you want to talk about your team, then my team, then we'll review everything?
Yeah, I love this way this team started. I think I may have to do some adjustments, but as I mentioned, I got Taylor and Josh Jacobs as first round draft picks in my mind. I've got Cook as a second round grade, so to get those guys, in the spots I got them here, I think it's fantastic value. To get Tyreek Hill here, I think Tyreek Hill is a wild card. I mean, he's a swing for the fences kind of guy. If things shake right in Miami, this is an unbelievable start for a first forward. But I also recognize that Tyreek Hill pick could torpedo my team. So I'm willing to take that risk in the fourth round. In the third round, I would not want to take that risk. But in the fourth round, I'm fine with it. I love Kamara. I like George Pickens. I don't love it. I initially loved the Andrews pick. I think Andrews is as good of a tight end as he's just behind McBride and Kittle in my mind. I think he's ahead of Laporta. I think he's ahead of Hawkinson. So, yeah, the fact he's going behind those guys. But but I think if I had to do it over again, I would wait. I like Loveland in the 10th. I like Kraft in the 9th. Kelsey in the 11th. Even I kind of like those. Even in Njoku, who I can't stand, but Njoku in the 13th that's pretty good value. Yeah. So. If I could do that over again, I might do that over. But I like Jennings. I like Dobbins. I love Herbert. For me, I just want to take quarterbacks that has a chance to be upside. What do I want Dak Prescott for? Like he's not going to be the number 3 quarterback. I think Herbert has a chance to do that. Yeah. Mooney, if I could do that over again, I probably wouldn't draft him. And then the other guys I've just drafted, they're kind of guys I like, but they're just guys I wanted to talk about, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, so with my team, I went running back early. I went Achane, Brown, and then Harvey in the 3 of the first 4 rounds. If I had to redo it, I would take Irving, Brown, but I didn't know that Troy would snipe me how many times? Let's count. 1 with Irving, 2 with Henderson, 3 with Ridley, 4 with Golden, 5 with Davis. So, yeah, he sniped me 5 times, Troy. Congratulations. My RB4 is Irving, my RB5 is Chase Brown. It doesn't make sense to take Achane for value just because I took a worse player on my rankings. So it's like I was thinking about it, like, what am I doing here? Like, I just take your best player because you have him ahead, and then you can get the next best player who you also have ahead of your first round pick. So Harvey is not ideal in the 4th round. I wanted Henderson, I wanted Hubbard. Like, the running backs just flew off the board. I didn't think Henderson was going to go 311 because he's going like 410 right now in best ball. So, but still, I guess I should expect him to go earlier now. So anyway, I went running back heavy, and then I went with the 3 receivers: Devontae Smith, McLaurin, and Igbuka. Kind of my receiving core really concerns me here. I love Igbuka. This kind of gives me like warm feelings because I used to take him all the time in late round 7, early round 8. Now you have to take him like late round 5, early round 6 in best ball, which I think is good. Like I said before, I think it's going to trend that way in real draft leagues.
Oh.
And so I we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. I have a feeling our friend Dwayne is going to take him in the 4th round. But anyway, so I didn't talk about Rashid Shaheed. Like I like my worry with Shaheed is that you have a terrible quarterback, and like terrible quarterbacks lock in on the number 1 receivers, which is Chris Olave. But Chris Olave has such an extensive concussion history that like the number 1 receiver could be Shaheed at some point this year. So I think 10th round's a fine value for Shaheed. I've been taking him like late 10th or so. So I think that's okay. And then I went with Thielen, Pierce, and McMillan. I really don't like my receiving core. It's just kind of a disaster. I do like my running backs a lot. I love Jackson. Ingram was fine, but I feel the same way as you. The reason why I went Ingram is because like Slew took Warren. I love Tyler Warren. Like I think he's gonna be a monster this year. He could be the next. We saw 2 years ago Laporta, last year Bowers. I think Warren is going to continue that trend. So I've been taking Warren round 9, but he wasn't there, and I was like, okay, I don't like anyone else, so I went with Ingram. But yeah, I don't. I think if I could redo that pick, I would. And then May as a backup's pretty good. So outside of receiver, I really like this team. I just have to kind of game plan just in case I'm in a league like this, which I'm not. So it's like drafting in a real league is going to seem like so easy compared to this. Yeah, this is crazy. This is insane. Let's see. I nearly took Irving at 1.8. Yeah, Irving's so good. Armac asking, would you guys keep Higgins for a 6th or McBride for a 5th? Higgins for a 6th all day. What do you think?
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, it's around later, and I have him about even, and it's a more important position. You know, tight end's the lowest scoring position. So, okay, so let's. Okay, McCaffrey just doesn't make sense. Negative correlation with Kittle. It also removes Purdy as a quarterback option later. Yeah, I don't draft McCaffrey. I like that pick at all. But yeah, I think Bagley. I think Irving would have been much better. All right, let's review these teams. We don't have to do Yo-Ye because he was an auto draft. I don't know if you guys saw. He was an auto draft. Let's start with Butters. So you went like hero running back with Bijan, and then it went McConkey, Allen, Sutton, Hunter. I love those picks in general. Mason I thought was a little early. Cup I hated, and Mims I didn't like, but I think overall this team's pretty good. I don't know if you need to take a second tight end here, but then again, like it was like pretty slim pickings by the end here, so I'm not gonna like fault him for that. What do you think about Butters' team?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the strategy. You know, I understand you can win. Anyone can win in any strategy, right? Any strategy can win if you pick the right players.
Sure.
Yeah, my perspective, the hero ball or slash the zero RB, like those approaches, I just don't believe that they're the ideal way to build a team. So I'm always going to struggle to value those types of guys. But individually, I like them. Like I like McConkey where he took him there. I like Sutton. I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of Travis Hunter. I think things could go wrong with Travis Hunter. I'm concerned about that. I'm not a fan of Mason. I don't know what to think of Blue. Not a fan of Cup. I do like Tyler Kraft though. I love Michael Pittman. Actually, I was going to take him in that spot. So so I like some of the players. I'm just not sure that I love the approach.
What I would have done differently is at 211, I would have went Hampton, and then instead of Mason, because you already had 2 running backs, I would have went with either a Dunze or Samuel or Buka or Golden. I know Butter's a Packer fan, so maybe Golden there would have made sense at 702. Or it says 611. I mean, so that's the one thing I would change, but otherwise I think it's a good team. Funky Dan at the 3rd spot. He started with Barkley, then London, and then went a couple running backs with Walker and Connor. Then he went quintuple receiver: Flowers, McMillan, Waddle, Coleman, and Diggs. There are just a lot of names I don't like here. You know, like Connor, I'm way down on because I said it before. He himself said it's going to be 1A, 1B with Benson this year, and Connor's 30. So I 4th round is just way too early for someone like that. I'm not a fan of McMillan. I could be wrong about him, but he himself said he doesn't love football. So I don't want someone who doesn't love football. Waddle is, to quote Butters, who drafted the 2 spot. Waddle's a pyramid scheme. And Diggs is a 31-year-old coming off a torn ACL. Spears, by the way, the 11th rounder, is injured. There's some picks I liked here. Walker 303 is too early, by the way. So some picks I like, some picks I don't like. I think I'm negative on this team overall. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure that I love it either. I'm probably a little bit higher on a couple of those players. Love Zay Flowers. I'm okay with Waddle. Diggs, I'm not sure about. Coleman, not sure about. Yeah. There's a lot of. I've actually gotten higher on Drake London. I've been kind of down on Drake London quite a bit, but I went back and watched some of his film, and I just thought maybe I'm totally wrong. I think he probably is worthy of that selection, and obviously Barkley at the 3rd pick, I think is great.
Would you still take AJ Brown over London?
Yeah, I have AJ Brown ahead of London.
Okay, yeah, me too. All right, so Kid No Name. Great start here with Gibbs and Kyron Williams, and then Higgins. So really strong start. Metcalf is one of the dead zone guys, so it's whatever. Adams, really good value in round 5. He's going like late 3rd in best ball, so it's great value. Brian Robinson Jr., I guess. I mean, this quote unquote news kind of broke, I guess, or it didn't even break. Like, I just saw the quote a couple hours ago that Ben Standig doesn't expect Robinson to be on the roster. So like that pick I don't like for that reason. Addison, he's gonna be out for 3 games, but once he returns, he's gonna definitely return 7th round value. You talk about Garendo being too early. I think a month ago I would have disagreed, but now that he has a shoulder injury, he's going later in drafts. But then again, if Kid No Name didn't take him, then I probably would have. So there you go. I don't like Javonte Williams. I think he's going to get replaced. But Braylon Allen's interesting because from everything I hear, it sounds like Breece Hall might be traded this in the middle of the season. And if that happens, Braylon Allen's going to be the starter. So I've been taking a lot of Braylon Allen recently. And I love Jalen Wright because, Achane, while super dynamic, is pretty small. So he could get hurt and then Wright could take over. I think that's great upside pick. Horton, I talked about him. So I like the team overall, except for Robinson. I think this team is really good. And Williams. This team is really good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it started gangbusters. Excellent. I don't know about the Robinson scenario. Those sorts of stories. I mean, I remember last year the Broncos beat reporter that said Javonte Williams was going to get cut, and like that ended up not being true. Like, so I don't know. I have a tough time believing those things. But again, I don't know who the beat reporter is. Yeah, the Garendo situation. Like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know that Garendo's actually good, and so I'm just like nervous to draft a guy in the 8th or 9th round. Like, McCaffrey possibility of being injured feels high because he's been injured so often.
Yeah.
And maybe Garendo's really good and he steps in, but maybe he sucks and they just like figure something else out. I don't know. Or maybe it feels high to me. I want to be spending 8th, 9th round. I'm picking my starter still. I'm sticking, starting tight end, starting quarterback at that point.
Yeah, well, Garendo's big and fast, so like, and he's playing with Kyle Shanahan. Like, the Shanahans, both Mike and Kyle, have like turned every single running back into fantasy stardom. CJ Anderson was not a good player. Mike Anderson was not a good player. Reuben Jones was not a good player. You know what I mean? Like, they were stars with the Shanahans. You know what I mean? So like, even if Garendo's like not a great talent overall, like he's still going to be really good.
You said big and fast, and I wanted to make a comment.
It's the After Dark show. Why not? You can make all the comments you want here. Anyway, Noms at the 5 spot. He started Lamb, St. Brown. I'm not crazy about double receiver to start. So let's see how the rest of his team panned out. And Bowers. So he waited until round 4 to take a running back. Bowers, I don't like in round 2. But round 3 suddenly is intriguing. Pacheco, round 4 seems a little too early. Pollard, I think, is fine in round 5. Montgomery is going to take a huge hit this year. No Ben Johnson, no Frank Ragnow, no Kevin Zeitler, and the schedule is so much tougher. Montgomery's going to fall off a cliff, I think, this year. He's someone to avoid. Olave's concussion history. Murray, I don't think he's going to last. Jaden Reed's injured. Benson, I know that Connor said that he's going to split with Benson. I just don't think Benson's that good. I think people want Benson to be good, and he's just not that good. And then Najee Harris can't see right now. I don't really like this team. What do you think about it?
Oh, I guess I'm a little confused. You're saying like James Conner saying it's going to be 1A, 1B, but then you're like,
Yeah.
Ben said it's not good.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
don't
like,
think he's. But that's the thing. Like Connor said that he's going to split the workload, but like with a bad player, I don't know.
yeah, I just
I
think
don't
it's
know. I think
bogus.
he seems well. I don't know. I mean, he said it.
Players say things all the time. Like, again, if I 90% of what players say should be ignored. We don't know what 10% should be listened to, so don't listen to any of it. Like that's my mantra. Like it's
Yeah,
just throw it
yeah,
out.
I get what you're saying. Like they usually pump themselves up. I've never heard a player say, "Oh, I'm probably going to be benched half the time this year." I've never heard that before. I don't know.
Players say dumb things for all sorts of dumb reasons,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
true.
just think to even repeat it feels like a total waste of time, and it only depresses a player that will probably end up being like. I'm not even a James Conner fan. Like I'm kind of another guy I've kind of ripped on for most of his career. I'm just like I find myself defending these guys that I don't even think are good. Anyway, like I think Trey Benson sucks, and because I've seen him play football, and I think James Conner's mediocre. Anyway, that's my thought, and I'm not sure I like the Cardinals at all. So, other
Yeah,
than Trey McBride, I'm not sure I want anyone on the team.
the Cardinals had such an easy schedule last year. This year, their schedule gets a little bit tougher. It's still ranked 23rd, but I don't trust Murray to stay healthy. Although they do have a better backup. It's not like Clayton Tune this time. It's Jacoby Brissett. So at least they'll be in good hands if he goes down. All right, so we
Maybe he's
did
an
your.
upgrade.
What'd you say?
Maybe he's an upgrade over their starter.
Yeah, it could be. Honestly, it could be. All right, so we did your team at the 6th spot. Let's do Slew's. I suspect this is gonna be a good team because I feel like Slew also sniped me a few times. So it was including round 1 with Malik Neighbors. He sniped you in round 2 with Jacobs.
Yeah.
Round 3, Daniels, outstanding pick. Brees Hall, I considered with Harvey, but it's kind of scares me that he's splitting the workload. Looks like with 2 other guys. DJ Moore round 5. I'm okay with that. Caleb Johnson, same thing. It's just kind of like not amazing picks, but good. Debo Samuel, I think is really good value in round 7. I said before, Tyler Warren, outstanding pick. I was hoping to get him around 9, but still, like, I think Warren's going to have a big year. Algier, Bijan goes down. This is a league winner. I don't know what's expected from Keenan Allen. He's going to be playing on the outside. I suspect he's not going to do all that much. I feel like he's being overdrafted by like everyone. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe he revitalizes with Herbert. I'd like to get your opinion on him. But like we have Doodle here. Decent handcuff. Keaton Mitchell, a lot of upside, and you got to love the Alkin goal pick. So what do you think about that? And specifically Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. I think to me, he was okay in Chicago. By the way, he came on. He ripped Caleb Williams today. Did you hear that? That was pretty.
No, he said.
He basically Caleb Williams is a selfish player that doesn't think he's going to be good. And I was like, wow, that's not what if you're a Bears fan, you're probably not excited to hear that.
Well, we had a week ago. We had Bears Reddit come in here and just try to troll us. Except they're making like 12-year-old Wang jokes. Like, I was like, what are you guys doing? You guys are pathetic. I don't know why they came in here. They had like 20 Bears fans from Reddit came in here. They tried to troll us, but they kind of embarrassed themselves.
I think the Keenan Allen signing to me is an indictment on Quentin Johnston. Because in essence, they basically said the coaches seem. I don't know for sure. They seem like Allen and McConkey are kind of like overlaps of each other in some ways, and so isn't Johnston your outside guy? Trey Harris is going to kind of be an XY mix up. Can play multiple positions, and Johnson's mostly your outside Y guy. I'm very confused by the Keenan Allen signing. To me, the only thing I could walk away goes they don't think Johnson's good. Which I thought about it. I actually drafted him quite a bit in best ball. The more I thought about it, the more I realized half this production came in one game last year.
It did, yeah, the Raiders game.
And the Raiders were totally checked out of that game.
They were.
And so I actually wonder if Johnson actually sucks, and they're just acknowledging it by signing Keenan Allen. That's my read. This is not I could be totally wrong, and maybe they just who knows what's going on. But Allen's fine. All that sake, I think Allen's fine. I think to me it's more of an indictment on Johnston than it is a boost of Allen. I like Slew. I like all these. Like I like the team generally. I think almost every time he picked though, I like one or two other players more. So it's like this is like the almost great team in my mind. Like just like yeah, that's a really good player. He would have been my second favorite player in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that's sort of how I felt every time he picked.
Yeah, I like the team a lot. Except for what was the one pick I didn't like? Actually, yeah, no, there's a couple picks I was like, okay, this is pretty decent, but not great. But I like this team overall a lot. You could argue like Daniels over Jackson, but like I'm sure there's a reason why I took him. It's pretty close. It's close enough to like not bash or anything. So I like this team. So Bagley drafting the A spot. So he himself said that he didn't like the McCaffrey pick, which I don't know how you take McCaffrey at all this year. And I like if you're in a league with like everyone who hates McCaffrey and refuses to draft him, I think like round 3 is like when he starts getting interesting. But like he's not falling that far. Because someone's always going to take him and he's just going too early. This guy has a chronic Achilles tendonitis in both of his legs, like both. Like there's no way he lasts all year, like 0% chance. The only question, it's like how many games? Like if he misses 3 games, I think that's like a win. And I think like it's likely he misses half the season. So no interest at all. Puka Nacua dealing with Stafford's back. That is a concern. And Nacua does have injury history as well. So I don't know. But like 205 seems pretty decent for him. Chuba Hubbard, I like. He's usually going like round 5, but like once you get to this stage of the draft, it's kind of like you're close enough to the round 4 dead zone where I think it's okay. George Kittle, like it's round 4 dead zone, so taking Kittle is perfectly fine. Xavier, I'm not a big fan of Xavier Worthy, but 5th round is not that bad value. I love Tyron Tracy. You like Aaron Jones more than I do. I'm worried about the committee. I think it might be 50-50, but 708, like you're getting good value. I don't like Shakir that much. Like there's just no upside with him. Like he has a high floor, which doesn't seem like he never like has a huge game. Maybe it'll be different this year, but he's also banged up right now. So I don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1. So I don't know. Higgins has more upside for sure. Sampson, potential starting running back. I love Dante Thornton. Prescott's the starter quarterback, right? Yeah, Prescott's the starting quarterback. You have to worry about injuries with him, but you could always pick up Joe Milton if he goes down. And then there's Hunter with upside. You talk about Jefferson, Kyle Williams. I like certain parts of this team. Just the McCaffrey pick bothers me a lot. So what are your thoughts on this team?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm learning some good lessons here because I've got totally different grades on some of these guys, and so to me, like Xavier Worthy's like a 7th or 8th round pick in my mind. Okay. But Jones, I think Jones is a value at 7th. I like him in the 6th. I like Shakir in the 7th. I think Shakir's the number 1 receiver there. I think he played well in the playoffs, and I think he played better than the stats show, and I think inevitably that usually plays in a player's favor. So I kind of like that. I think there's a probability there. I think Keon Coleman sucks, by the way. I'm not sure if they're going to do that. I'm not sure what to make of Higgins. I think in part because I don't know what to do with the Texans receivers, and I don't know what to do with Christian Kirk, and so I don't know if Higgins is good. And other than Nico Collins, I'm basically just staying out of those guys. Like I don't know what to make of those guys.
Yeah, I agree with you that Shakir is the receiver 1 there in Buffalo, but like he didn't produce like the receiver 1, and no one did. And I agree. I think Coleman probably sucks. So, I don't know. I feel like there's no upside with Shakir. Like I don't think he's gonna be a league winner for you. If you take him a couple rounds later, I feel better about it. But I think I think he's going too early in drafts. But I think he's the classic case of like a player who's better in real life than he is in fantasy. There are a couple of guys like that. Jacoby Myers a good example of that too. Like Jacoby Myers is like a coach's dream. Like he didn't drop a single pass last year, but that doesn't show up for fantasy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hines Ward was like that back in the day, like a tremendous blocker. He's always reliable on 3rd down, but he's never like a fantasy star, Wayne Corbett, like from back in the day, if you remember him. Like obviously you do. So like, you know, I think he's like the next of that type of player where he's just like he's drafted a little early because people know how good he is, but like he's just not a great fantasy player, you know. But anyway, the anti-penultimate team here, Armac at the 10th spot. He goes with Brian Thomas. Armac hates his team, so let's look at it. He went Brian Thomas and Henry, which I think is a solid start. Henry could fall off. He's 31, but I think he's going to have one more great year. Hurts, great pick at 310. McBride, good value because he's going like early round 4. So I think this is a good start. I'm not a fan of Jameson Williams. Williams actually went round 7 in the draft we did last night. So I think you can wait on him. I love Pearsall. You sniped me there. I love Downs. You sniped me there. And then I know Kenny likes Warren. But I think here is I think these 2 picks are missteps. So Judkins, he could be, I think, like I said before, he's a better chance he's in prison than he is on the football field. And then Ayuk, he's not going to be ready until at least week 6. And he's coming off a torn ACL and MCL. So I don't think he's going to be healthy at all. I like some of these late round picks. Woody Marks has a chance to be the starter. We'll see if Mixon can't return. Who is it? Chubb is the favorite, but he has no explosion. Pierce might have a chance, but he kind of sucks in that offense. The coach even said it. And then it could be Woody Marks, who is a good receiver out of the backfield in college. Shipley, I love as a sleeper. Franklin, I like as a sleeper. And then Cam Ward I like as a sleeper. So I like these late round picks, but like Judkins, Ayuk is really bad here. And then Williams, I think you can wait on, but otherwise I think this is a good team. I'm worried about your running backs though. Like there's only Henry and then Warren might be benched. We'll see. And then you just don't have anything else. So I think, Kenny wrote this in his article, by the way. Check out thecapIsFake.com. And I read it. It's really good. One of the things Kenny said, I don't want to steal your thunder. Actually, let me not steal your thunder because he violated one of the rules that you had in the first 4 rounds. I don't know if you see it, but take it away. Yeah, good.
Yeah, in my mind, you can't take a quarterback and a tight end in the first 8 rounds. Like that's one of my rules.
Yeah. Do you want to explain why?
I mean, you end up having no depth elsewhere. I mean, this kind of shows it. That's one of the biggest things. You've spent a ton of draft capital on the 2 positions that make up the least amount of the percentage of quarterback score of your team and the percentage of your tight end scores, like combined for the lowest to the least important. It's a lot of draft capital, and then you end up with no depth. And so you have to just kill it at quarterback and tight end. And that makes me so concerned. And running backs is just, in my opinion, it's just the hardest position to fix mid-season. You know, if you screw up the wide receiver position, you could probably fix it. Maybe not, but it's easier. You screw up your running back spot. I just have no confidence I can fix it mid-season. It's so hard to fix. So yeah, unless there's running back on injuries that create, which happens some years, right? Where there's 10 starting running backs get injured, so you've got these backups. But it's such a hard position to fix. So that's why I feel the need to give attention to it. I want at least 3 running backs, if not, 3 and 6 rounds is my ideal.
So what would you have done differently instead of McBride? Would you have taken Hall there or?
Yeah, I like Breece Hall there. And or instead of James Conner, or sorry, James, instead of Jalen Hurts, I maybe am wanting to take a running back that's there. Henderson would be fine. I like Hall quite a bit. I like Connor in the 4th round. You hate him. But maybe Brian Thomas there. Like, to me, I would take Irving over Thomas. I think I'd take Chase. I'd take Chase Brown. I'd take Gentry, Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. So there's multiple Kyron Williams. Like all of these running backs in round 2, I'd take them before Brian Thomas.
Yeah,
I like Brian Thomas.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, outside of that and those 2 picks in the middle, I like the team overall. Yeah, quarterback, tight end. Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. I agree with Kenny. It's really tough to fill out a team unless you're drafting with like complete idiots, and then you can just get like good players late. Like you kind of have to like gauge who you're drafting with. But in a draft like this, it's going to be super tough, and the running back depth really is concerning with this team. So, like I said, I would take McBride. I would take Harvey or Hall instead of McBride. But you made the suggestion instead of Thomas, you take Irving or Genty, and then you have two running backs there, and then you would need a receiver here. So maybe instead of Warren, you can get Josh Downs or Golden, and I think that would work out. So, or instead of Judkins, you take Shaheed or something. So that's how I'd fix that. Troy McClure, he was my nemesis in this draft. I have nothing bad to say about this team. This team is going to win the championship if this were a real league. So I have nothing else to say. He won this draft. What do you think?
I don't love Burrow, and that's why I think slightly early, but not terrible.
Okay.
I don't think I love Evans or Ridley in that spot. Slightly early in my mind, but not terrible. Love Bigsby. I think Ray Davis is a potential league winner if Cook were to go down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to make of Golden. Is he good? Like, I guess that's a ridiculous question to ask.
So
is he actually good?
I think so. He's looked good in training camp. Which obviously you have to take a grain of salt, but like all the other receivers on the team are hurt. Like Jaden Reed's gonna probably be out week 1. Dobbs got injured. Wicks is banged up. So it's gonna be just Golden and Tucker Kraft. Although what hurts me a little bit here with Golden, and I've drafted him recently a lot in like late round 7, round 8 in best ball, is that Jordan Love is gonna be out for a week or two. So like Malik Willis filled in great last year, but he was more of a runner. So that kind of bothers me a little bit, but it's only 2 weeks, so it's not like a big deal. I'm perfectly fine with Golden in round 7.
I don't know if he's good. Like that's my only thing. Like if he's good, then this sounds like a 7th round feels like a late 7th. It feels like a great value actually.
Mm-hmm. Ridley is going actually earlier in best ball drafts. So I think Evans, like I'm not a fan of Evans this year, but he's going like 311. So you're getting like 511. This feels decent. And like Burrow, I would have taken Burrow at 404 if I didn't have Jackson. So he's one of the 5 elite quarterbacks. And then like there's a huge drop off. And then we had the last team, Bro Brian. So he went receiver in 3 of the first 4 rounds with Collins, Wilson, Harrison. Solid picks there. Not a big Wilson fan this year, but it's okay. Genty is decent pick there. Not crazy about him. I'd rather have like Chase Brown and Jacobs, but still, it's not that bad. Swift, I've heard some negative opinions on Swift. I'm higher on Swift than most, but I can certainly see the downside. So a little risky, especially 5-12, because he usually goes like the 6th round, but he wasn't going to fall back. I think Laporte is going way too early. I'm down on all Detroit players this year except for Gibbs. Judy, I don't like because he's a Cleveland player. Myers talked about before, like he's not a great fantasy player. He's much better in real life, like fantastic possession receiver in real life, but fantasy is not great. Mayfield's solid there. We both hate ETN. We both hate Eckler. Brashard Smith's decent sleeper, I guess. Christian Kirk, I don't think you can really take him. So it seems. I don't think this is the worst team. I think there's some things here that are good. The early receivers I like, and Swift could have potential and stuff like that. But I think a few missteps I don't like. What do you think about this team?
Yeah, I like. There's certain players I really like. I've really come around on Genty. Everything I read about him, this guy's like he's legit, and I kind of like the Raiders' approach to like how they're talking about they're gonna structure their offense, and I think it'll be interesting. So I'm fine with a lot of these players. I just don't like your running back depth. Genty, Swift, and then Travis Etienne, who I think is going to be out of the NFL next year. So it's like hard for me to like. Yeah, I think Travis Etienne sucks. I've been saying it. 2024, I looked smart. Who knows? 2025, he'll have 17 touchdowns, and I'll look stupid.
Wait, he took his so a problem here is he took his 5th receiver before his 3rd running back, which I don't like. So instead of Judy or Myers, he should have taken Bigsby or Charbonnet or Grendo. You don't like Grendo, but maybe Grendo or Mixon if he's more bullish in his injury. But so instead of one of those receivers, he should have taken a running back instead. But I think that would have fixed a lot here. Genty, by the way, we're gonna have Charlie on the show to do a mock draft on Tuesday. Charlie had a fantasy video that he posted. Usually he covers the draft, but you know, Charlie has sources and stuff like that. So he talked to, I said before, he talked to his Raider sources. He came away after having a conversation with his Raider sources, and he said that he would not take Ashton Genty until the third round.
Wow.
Just based on what the higher up said with the Raiders. So, and then Genty had 3 carries for -1 yards, and I'm like, okay, this is like compounding here. I'm glad I don't have much Genty in my best ball drafts.
And what is the he didn't share what was said.
So a couple of things. First of all, he said you're gonna see more Mostert than you're gonna like. You know, they don't want to run him into the ground. He's only a rookie. There's no reason to do it. He had so many touches last year. Everyone's making a big deal about Barkley's touches. Like Genty had nearly as many as touches as Barkley did. So like they don't want to overload him. That's number one. Number two, Genty's not gonna play third downs. They're not comfortable with him on third down, so that curbs his upside. And number three, that offensive line looks like garbage. So like all 3 of those factors. That's why Charlie's like, I'm not touching Genty until round 3. Which I thought was interesting. And I almost feel the same way. I think he was there late second. I would take a shot on him, but maybe that would be just a sticker shock because he's usually gone by he usually goes like between 110 and like 204, you know, like in that area.
Yeah, I have him as my 12th best player right now, but yeah, maybe I'll have to think about that.
He's my number 9 running back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm lower on him than the most. What number running back is he for you?
Oh, he's my 8th running back, so we're not.
Oh, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what overall he is. Like the cheat sheets on my site. I haven't even looked at my cheat sheet because I just like know when these players are gonna be drafted from all these drafts that I do. My running backs, by the way, my top 10 real quick before we sign off. Bijan, then Saquon Barkley, then Gibbs, then Bucky Irving, then Chase Brown, then Devon Achane, then Derrick Henry, then Josh Jacobs, then Ashton Genty, and then Kyron Williams.
All right. You don't have Jonathan Taylor in your top 10?
He's my 13th.
Okay.
Do you have yours?
Yeah. Saquon, Bijan, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs. 5th would be Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Ashton Genty, Chase Brown, and then would be James Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Bryce Hall, Chuba Hubbard, Bucky Irving. That kind of be my next.
Bucky's your 15th?
Yeah.
We have a huge difference there. Bucky's my 4th.
Wow. I mean, I love Bucky Irving. I'm just surprised that you have him that high.
I love Bucky. I think he has potential to be the RB1 this year.
Okay.
That's interesting. I wonder why oh yeah, by the way, Kenny, congrats on your newborn. Big addition to the depth chart. What was the weight and where did that slot in with the previous 2?
He was the biggest, 8 pounds 4 ounces, and he was the largest of the 3.
Nice.
And my wife gave birth with no epidural.
Oh my god, she's a trooper, man. That's crazy.
All of her births have been really fast. Like it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had C-section both times.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. My son, that was the worst. My wife was in such agony. Her epidural failed. My son, he was due on Christmas. He wasn't born until New Year's Eve, and he was tangled. His the umbilical cord was tangled, like around his neck area and his leg. So he just wasn't coming out. So they had to cut her open, and that's why she was in such pain. And man, if it wasn't for this technology, he would have died inside. So thank goodness for that. But it's just she was I've never heard anyone cry in agony like that. She was in such pain. I don't even know if she remembers it because she even says she's I don't remember that much from that night. But she I was the anesthetic guy. It was he he was taking care of like a car accident that happened, so he was running late, and like the upper door failed. Like it was a disaster. I was like freaking out, man. It was crazy. But geez, it's insane. So.
Oof.
Yeah, my daughter was a lot faster, but she was C-section as well. But because I don't know if I remember exactly why, but like they decided C-section for her too. But there were no complications with her. So, yeah, ESPN has Jackson Powers Johnson listed as the starting center and right guard, which is not good. Yeah, the Raiders' offensive line looks pretty bad, except for Colton Miller. There's big problems there. They got blown up. You said you don't watch preseason games. The Raiders had their starting offensive line out, and they couldn't block Seattle's backups. It's not a good look. It's the reason why Genty had 3 carries for -1 yards. Genty was like in the backfield getting tackled. It's like pretty bad. Anyway, I think that's like sign of things to come. So, all right, guys, that's about it. We're 2 hours deep. Someone asked if we're gonna do another mock draft. We would be here until almost 3 a.m. if we did that. So, and I don't even know if we could fill a room because it's almost 1 a.m. But all right, guys, we're gonna be back tomorrow. Mike Lachine's gonna be on as our guest. But yeah, you can. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description of the merch store, check out walterfootball.com, and check out thecapisfake.com. Kenny has the perfect 12-team fantasy football draft for 2025. This is a long article, but it's definitely worth the read. There's a lot of great info on here for your strategy. I highly recommend checking it out. Do you want to talk about this briefly or anything else, or shout anything else out?
I do this every year where I just try to put together what's my round by round plan. This is my biggest piece of advice to people is have it clear. Do not make decisions on the clock. Mm-hmm. Predetermine what you're going to do. Think through if this, then that, if this, then that. You make when you're making decisions on the clock, you make mistakes. And so that's one of my biggest, so even if you don't like my plan, you don't like my rankings, like come up with a plan. In the first round, I'm going to do this. Second round, I'm going to do this, based on what the variables are. And so hopefully that can be helpful to you. And I just moved Genty down real time. He was I moved him down to the 16th player, and he's my my 9th running back now, 10th running back.
That's so. Okay. So now I am one ahead, so I'll have to move him down too.
So Charlie freaked me out here.
Yeah, well, Charlie will be on Tuesday. Maybe he's heard something different. That definitely, I urge you guys to check that out. Even if you don't draft with us, Charlie he talks to half the league, so he gets the best info, especially on these rookies. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say about them. But yeah, once again, check out thecapisfake.com. We had one last question here. 1-man keeper league: keep Kyron to lose 8th, or keep Brock Bowers to lose 10th. Tight end slot in my league is tight end / receiver. Okay, that changes things. Even though it's more value in 10th, I'm close to Kyron in the 8th. Just because
I agree.
Yeah, because you don't have to start at tight end. So yeah, definitely Kyron in the 8th is what I would do. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks for commenting as well. We'll be back tomorrow with Mike Lachine. There's no preseason games tomorrow, which is weird. So if there were, we couldn't really have a show. You guys, I don't know if you guys keep talking in the chat later, but we're going to sign off because it's close to 1 a.m. I have to get some work done. I'm going to post another article talking about like the top tight ends I've drafted so far this year. I've done every other position. But yeah, check that out, guys. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. So I will talk to you then.